I bless your name. You are holy, and forever you are God. I bless your name. You are holy, and forever you are God. You're welcome once again, and I want to continue with the teaching I also have titled Impatient is too costly. Impatient is too costly. In grammar, when you use the word too, anytime anything becomes too, T00, T00, it becomes what we call in grammar, even checking it through the dictionary, disapproving. The kind of things that is no longer good or no longer at the standard at which it is favorable. That is why we say you cannot trust God too much, because there is no point at which you will trust God. It becomes kind of unfavorable. Nobody have ever trusted God too much, because the more you trust Him, the more favorable your conditions are becoming. I titled this teaching now, Impatient is too costly. In fact, the lack of self-control can be very expensive, and as well can be very costly. Sometimes, but impatient is always too costly. I want us to go to the book of Genesis, chapter number 25. I want to read from verse number 29. Genesis chapter number 25, verse number 29. I want to read to verse number 34. Yes, from 29 through 34. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? I want somebody to say, God forbid. And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. And he said, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Praise God. God forbid this is not our portion. In life, anything you want to do, like I said in the previous video, check properly. Check properly. Esau said he is at the point of death, that he was fainting because he was hungry. Somebody, because of food, was exaggerating hunger to be a kind of fainting, and he migrated from just fainting to a kind of exaggerated it to mean at the point of death. You can imagine, this is what I call the exaggeration of the exaggeration itself. If you like, you can call it the exaggeration of the hyperbole. I didn't see anywhere somebody can be so hungered to the point of death. At least it was food that he was asking for. But I think there are still some water in their house. Easu could have just sustained and be a man. If not at all, just go to the place at which they keep their water, either in the fridge or anywhere around them that they always drop water, at least to take a cup of water, then calm down. Ordinarily, the pottage that Jacob cooked, even though he may have cooked it with his own money, but Easu is still his brother. He cannot finish it. Easu could have been a man. Watch out and see when Jacob will just finish a pot of porridge, only him. But somebody said because he was so hungry that he's just about to faint. And from fainting, he said he's at the point of death. And he finally died. It was just a plate of porridge, let's just say a plate of food. And Easu is still eating that food till today. That food is what has buried Easu. That singular plate of food that was in his mouth put him in the grave and covered him. Nobody could hear of him again. Today, what we call is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Ordinarily would have been the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Easu. But singularly because of a plate of food, somebody sold his birthright, sold away his generation, sold his destiny, sold everything that has to do with him or concerns him. Brethren, in life we need to think. We don't need to be too hasty over some certain things and feel if it is not just now, it can never be anymore, or it can never be any other time. And that is exactly what we are just acting on. Few months ago, all over the media in the world, nobody was telling the world that there is a place called Biafra. Even newborn babies across the world could open his mother's phone or his father's phone and begin to see that there are people who are called the Biafrans without waiting for anybody to tell him. Most of our superstars, music stars, movie stars were wearing the clothes everywhere controversially. As a kind of anything that wants to happen, let it happen. We were talking about it. It was a kind of, we carried it on top of our head. We shouted about it with the heaviness of our voice or of our voices. The whole world was giving us applaud that certainly I think this is the time that these people have gotten what they want. They have taken the horn by the bull. They have taken their destiny in their hands. And it was true. But suddenly, just at the little or with the little level of seduction, we all got seduced. Because somebody devilishly just came out from nowhere and shake us like this and make us vibrate like Nakataja. And all of us, almost over more than 85% of us vibrated exactly the way he have enthused us to, and forget about the real thing we were talking about and begin to talk for a plate of food. Having your destiny in your hand and being the controller of it, which is having the freedom that your forefathers have fought and left for you, and they fought it for you and accepted to die, so that today you will continue from where they stopped and make sure it is being secured for your good and for the good of your generation once and for all, and leave Egypt completely. Not a kind of managing with them, not a kind of I told you Moses. Is it not better that we keep serving the Egyptians than to die in wilderness? This is just a little token of our wilderness, and we are compromising, blaming Moses, our chief Master NnamdiKanu. There are even in our very before are still suffering, not once, not twice, that they have suffered for us. And just a little shake from somebody who doesn't deserve it, we have diverted and denied him and went away from him. Only in our mouth we can talk about him, but practically we have no options and has no feeling concerning him. We have sold him out. He is now being betrayed because of a plate of food. Somebody that will just go to Abuja and that ends it. All these charisma, fake charisma, gathering crowd here and there, fake crowds, wearing grandmasters occultic clothes, every time dark clothing, and we are not thinking, we don't know the implications. We just fly to Abuja and all the drama that is happening now ends. And the very person who is still suffering on our behalf will now, right before us, go to jail, probably this time, life jail, because we have betrayed him at the expense or at the detriment of somebody who doesn't deserve it, and at the detriment of our own destiny. And we are not thinking, because the world is now a place that has been repackaged to become a place whereby if anyone is trying to tell you the truth or is saying the truth, it will look like the enemy or the enemy of progress. But those people that will package lies, fake lies, and sell them to you, it will be sweet in the ear, will be acceptable, and will be seen as the people that are telling the truth. We are just about to have our plate of food at the detriment and at the expense of our raw destiny and the destinies of our children. Why I feel delighted in saying these things, irrespective of how some of us may feel, is because I want to be saying it raw to us, so that we wouldn't keep deceiving ourselves and feel we never had opportunity of hearing them, or nobody ever explained to them very well and weigh it in the balance for us to properly evaluate them and look into them. These demons came out from nowhere and begin to tell you again to go and fight for your PVC. Do you have to fight for your PVC if you are truly a Nigerian? Every time that it's time for an election to be conducted in Nigeria, it is always the Igbo tribes, the Eastern region people, that have to fight for their own PVC. Comfortably, it will be given to other tribes without struggle, without much stress. But so far as you are from the Eastern region, you will have to fight for your own. You have to cry and lament for it. You have to kind of politicize it. You have to make it a town cry in both in the media before it will get to you. And you are not thinking great Fulani man from Chad, from one country or the other, that just invaded or intruded into Nigeria from either of his borders. In less than 2 weeks, he can get it. And your own, you have to cry for it. You are not thinking. And somebody now pushed you and persuaded you, and it's already in your hand. Biafra is in your mouth. Nigerian PVC for presidential election and all the rest of them is in your hand. Which one do you want? Obviously, you have to tell God, because he said, make your request be known to me. That is the fundamental and the primary basis of prayer being answered. You can't be pretending before God like a child. If they give you food, you carry food in your mouth. If they do baby, you drop food. You go and begin to drag for baby and begin to cry for baby. If they give you baby, you press it 2 times, you want to drop it and remember you are hungry. This is your food now. If they give you your food, they press the baby again, you drop your food and cry, begin to cry for baby. You have to choose what you want. You are no longer a kid. If you want to eat this plate of food, fine, so be it. Eat it and count the cost. Know why you are eating it. Not tomorrow, the food will be in your mouth, you begin to cry. Or the food will be in your mouth, you begin to find out that you have killed yourself. Just a plate of food, impatient, very costly. We've been crying for so long. Suddenly, almost at the time that we have gotten percentage of up to 80% of what we want to secure Biafra, then somebody distracted you. You dropped everything and every opinion that you ever have concerning that, got completely distracted and became swept away. Even betrayed your own self. For more than a year lockdown, every week, you betrayed it, you sabotage it, sabotage the person that are still doing it, and that are right in your very before, is still in the detention. It's not as if he has been left. And the PVC of the people who are maltreating you, maltreating the person, fighting for your freedom, who have wife and family, who left them, who doesn't care because of you, that because of this ambition, his parents have died, who are still inside rolling in the suffering because of you. You dropped him. And the other people who are punishing you, their PVC is already in your hand. And you are waiting just for the due date to come. My dear, you need to think and think again. No? You need to open your brain and think properly. Because a stitch in time saves 9. The Bible said, if you don't have wisdom, you ask. I think if there is anything that has tampered your wisdom, your thinking, your listening, your understanding capacity, is as good as you kneel down and tell God that you need some. Because when once this mistake is made, it's made. There is no remedy. Impatient is too costly. Easu have not been able to pay finish till now. He is still eating the plate of food. His generations are still eating that plate of food, that porridge. What need or what use is the birthright that you are talking about, Jacob, when I'm at the point of death? And they give him the plate of food and he finally died. He was running away from death. And at the end of the day, it was the plate of food that was supposed to save his life that killed not just only him, killed him and wiped away the entire generation. Think. Anytime anybody wants to tell us the truth, he looks like a demon. He looks like a betrayer. He looks like somebody whom you loved that you don't know that this guy is like this. What is it that this guy really wants? But it might be that the very person is the person who is telling you the truth that will serve you and serve your generations unborn tomorrow. We need to think. The scripture said, thou shalt know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. There are some times that is not how powerful intellectually or how strong capacitatedly your swords or your ammunitions are that will set you free. There are sometimes you need some just element of knowledge, truth. As soon as you got the truth, bam, you got your freedom. Thou shalt know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I rest my case. Thanks once again. Bye.